Welcome once again, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, one and all, to a brand new edition of the Quinn Spinn. Zoom just asked me if I'm playing music because I was so beautiful in
You
my
were so melodic. And I
Yes,
didn't realize I was conducting.
yeah, but it happened.
You went on my signal.
The moment just caught us both. What can we say? Anyway, I'm your host, Quinn. At least it's how I'm known here on the program. And I'm back here on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more for another rousing and rooting installment of the official podcast of Underground Music Collective. You just heard Revel 9's All Become at the top of the show. That's been our opening theme song since the great year of 2014, and it will be until the very end of days. That one turns 10 with us this year as well, at least,
Oh,
as far
Lord.
as its place in Quinn Spinn lore. We turn 11. And
So would you say that all you've
Oh.
become right now is 10?
yeah.
Oh, it's Revel 9 too. They need to change it to Revel 10.
Well, once the 11-year anniversary comes, because that's the 10-year anniversary of that becoming the theme song. Because it became the theme song on the 1-year anniversary episode, which we released a clip from a few months ago on our 10th anniversary compilation, Volume 1.
Hell yeah.
There will be more compilations when I have time to create them. Anyway, back here with a member of the OG fam, Scotty Rock sends his regards. He was unable to join us because he is laid up with some kind of ick. And we're recording this on his birthday. So, I mean, of course he's sick.
No, I think he's legit sick.
No, he probably is.
He's no, he'd be here if he wasn't sick.
He'd be here.
If he were the other kind of sick, he'd definitely be here. Like, oh, sick. All right, we're gonna talk about this later in the show, but I think I'm gonna keep myself in 2023 now. All right, see ya.
Oh, well, okay. Well, anyway, yeah, one way that Scotty could boost his immune system is to, brush up on those Quinn Quake workouts. But, I'm not here to, really, he's not here rather for me to, really press. And he should work with Coach McQuakes.
Are you now confirming that you are indeed Quinn McQuakes?
No. I'm not here to press the issue that he should start working again with Coach McQuakes.
Which is you.
No.
You're the Quinn, and it's Quinn McQuakes. So
yeah, my first name is his first name is Quinn. We're not the same.
We're doing this again.
So
then, I mean, my next question was going to be, are you related? But obviously you're not, because you don't share the same last name.
Right. His last name is McQuakes. My last name is Quinn. Just like Ice Baby and Under Pressure. It's not the same.
I'm going to solve this mystery one day.
There's no mystery to solve. I'm being completely transparent that I am not Coach McQuakes. I wish I was, because he's a great man. The man we should all aspire to be. But anyway, JD's joining us.
I am here. Okay, so something I've been thinking about. By the way, you don't need to know how I'm doing. I'm just kidding. I'm doing fine. I'm doing good. Happy New Year to you all. This is the first time I've been on a podcast this year, so Happy New Year to all of you. But something I've been thinking about the last couple of hours as we were preparing to record for this is the nicknames we all have.
Yeah.
So I've been thinking about it, and you're the Quinn, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And we got Scotty Rock.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm JD. And it's kind of like the nickname budget ran out when we got to me. Like, you've got two words. You've got the and the Quinn. Scotty Rock has an entire music genre, so like we broke the bank for his nickname,
and 3 syllables.
Yeah. And then I got 2 letters.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you could always choose another nickname if you wanted to.
Oh, I didn't know that was a thing.
Oh yeah. I mean,
I'm gonna be Daddy Pop.
Daddy Pop.
Daddy Pop. If he's Scotty Rock, I'll be Daddy Pop.
Not to be confused with Big Daddy Dell, good friend of the show.
Oh shoot! I forgot we can curse on this.
Yeah, we can. It's the internet.
That's true. That is true. I might have to think of it. I might need a break. That's just the first one that came to mind. I'm like, that sounds nice. It's a nice contrast from Scotty Rock. It's a different genre of music. Maybe I could be I don't know. What if I were like Carson Country
Carson Country. It's
or like
kind of
hip hop?
reminiscent of Carson Daly.
Yeah, yeah. Total
Yeah.
Request Live. I could be a
Whatever
hip
happened
hop.
to Carson? What's going on with Carson Daly right
I
now?
think he hosts The Voice.
Does he?
Yeah. He's still in media. I know I mean, it's not like he faded into obscurity.
Yeah.
He
Yeah.
still does stuff, but I'm pretty sure he hosts The Voice.
Good to know. Good friend of the
And
show, Carson Daly.
my lips are very chapped. I have like a cut right here. If you're listening on audio, I am basically just criticizing myself right now. So let's move on.
Yeah. So how are things going, JD?
Not too bad. Had a good Christmas. Spent it in Ohio with my family. I was awake at midnight for New Year's. That's been hit or miss over the last couple of years because I'm getting older, but
Yeah.
I'm still relatively a night owl. So I was up for New Year's, but I didn't go out or anything. And then just been living it up in Georgia,
Living
which
it up.
I don't know what that entails, but I've been doing it.
Mhm. Well, it did entail cheering on the Tennessee Titans from afar until their season ended a couple weeks ago.
Oh my god. Well, I'm curious though because you told me this as we were getting ready for this. We had a conversation before we started recording.
About our fandoms. Yes. Yes.
Well, before we get into that, because you said, or I talked about how New Year's went for me.
Mhm.
You told me before we started recording that and we'll get into some New Year's talk, New Year's resolutions, goals, things like that. But you said that you get up at 5 a.m. now.
I do get up at 5 a.m.
So
Yes.
was that before or after New Year's?
Oh, before it
Oh,
started. So it started in the fall.
mm-hmm.
And then I went north, and it's kind of a different schedule up there. I tend to pick up a lot of night stuff while I'm up north, if you know what I mean. And so,
I don't.
being a morning
I
person,
don't actually. I don't.
I'll leave it to your imagination.
Uh,
Let your mind
that's fair.
wander with that.
It's fair. Okay.
So being a morning person at 5 a.m. isn't really conducive up there. But now that I'm back in Dinashti, and have been since
I thought you were doing that at night.
Dinashti.
Yeah, because you said you'd leave it to my imagination, and that's where my
Oh
head
no,
went.
no, yeah. Well, doing Dinashti and being in Dinashti are two different things. I'm in Dinashti as in Nashville.
Nash. Oh, carry
Yeah.
on.
So now that I'm back here, I'm back in my routine, which yeah, I get up at 5 a.m. every day and I like it. People, when I tell people this, they're like, "Oh, why would you do that?" I'm like, because otherwise it feels like I wasted the day if I don't. Like, first of all, if you've ever driven in Nashville, you know that you need to be on the road by 6 a.m. or you're going to spend your entire morning sitting in traffic. And it allows me to get into town, allows me to get buff. Of course, I am still, following the Quinn Quake workout program that was gifted to me by Coach McQuakes.
Or
So
yourself.
no, Coach McQuakes. I would never override his wisdom. And then, by 8 in the morning, my day started and it's nice and quiet at the studio. I start getting things done. And by noon, I feel like I've had a full productive day. So it's actually, yeah, I love doing that. And it's just, it's definitely raising my vibe, as do the kids say vibe anymore? I don't know. But I feel good about it. I'm gonna get up at 5 o'clock tomorrow, as a matter of fact. And
Damn.
keep doing the thing. So
So the question I have then is, what did you do for New Year's? If you had to be awake at 5 a.m, were you up for
oh
New Year's?
well, yeah. So that didn't apply because we covered the Nashville's Big Bash
Mm.
downtown.
Look at
So
me doing a segue.
look at that! Look at that! Quinn Spinn round of applause.
Woo! I'm a pro.
So yeah, Nashville's Big Bash took place. It was Leonard Skinner, Lainey Wilson, Thomas Rhett, L. King, a Nashville hip hop tribute for the 50th anniversary of the genre. And we got to watch the Big Red music note drop at midnight. And let me tell you, like, amazing experience to cover that. Yeah, I haven't really gotten a chance to talk about it yet on the show, but amazing experience to cover that event. I want to thank, of course, the city for having us and everybody, who made that possible to bring UMC into the fold. Hopefully, the first of many. It was just incredible to be there, just like see. where this podcast that started with a USB mic and a laptop in my childhood bedroom had taken us at that very point in time. And I want to thank everybody who's new here too, because I mean, one thing that definitely did, because while I was in the pit taking photos, I also got some video that we repurposed as YouTube shorts. It exploded our YouTube traffic. Like we're
I
still
saw
getting
that.
regular views on those videos. Like it's really it's really done wonderful things for our platform to have been involved in that event. So great start to the year. I'm really, and that's the thing is like I'm buzzing from that, and not to say like, you don't still have to navigate the journey of it because things pop up, challenges pop up every day, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we experience that on the entrepreneurial journey, but definitely a highlight moment to end last year to start this year, and definitely has us off on the right track. And there's a lot coming up that we may or may not have announced, depending on when you're listening to this episode.
Oh,
Yeah, and we're
oh,
we're coming out of the gates. We're
eye
coming out of the
emojis.
gates.
Oh,
What's that?
I said eye emojis. Oh,
Oh yeah, eye emojis.
eye
Yes, I
emojis.
love the eye.
When you,
Yeah. Hmm.
um, well, it's funny because when you told us about, or when you sent that in the group chat about you being there, my first thought, because I think I was still kind of in the holiday spirit, and like
Hmm.
usually around the holidays I kind of lose. I'm usually chronically online, which is not a good thing and probably a little embarrassing to admit, but I kind of lose that when I'm in the holiday spirit and in out of town for all that. So when you sent that, I had no idea that they did a Nashville live. I don't live in Nashville, so I don't know. It makes perfect
Right.
sense now. I didn't see the commercial on CBS yet.
Hmm.
So my first thought when I saw that, it was like, holy shit, Quinn organized an event with Leonard Skinnerd. I'm like, wow, holy cow.
One day we'll get there.
Like, but that's the other thing too, is like, that's how much faith I have in you. That like,
Oh,
that was the first thought I had in my mind was, holy shit, he organized this whole damn thing and got Leonard Skinnerd and the other artists that I can't remember. I'm so sorry. I'm such an asshole to them. Um, but like that was the fact that was my first thought. I mean, I think, like I said, that just shows how how proud of you I am and how much I think you're capable of.
well, thank you, sir. I
Um,
appreciate that.
and then I saw the commercial on CBS. I'm like, damn, CBS got him to organize an event.
One day they will. One day
Yeah,
they
no,
will.
one day they will for sure.
No, it was great. It was while I was still up north. I'd gotten a PR contact of mine, who I've known for years, sent me, the initial news of it, and I'm like, originally I was gonna go back to Nashville on like January 2nd, but I'm
Mhm.
like, I think I can come back early for this. I think this is definitely worthwhile, and it was. I mean, again, just amazing to be a part of it. Like if it was the biggest thing we've ever covered,
Mm.
in any iteration of this platform from the early Quinn Spinn days to now. Like it was the biggest thing we ever covered, and I'm grateful for the opportunity to have been there. And now I'm also thinking, what else can we go and do this year? What other big events can we be a part of? Because what that does, on our end, the benefit to us is it puts more eyes and ears on the platform, which ultimately benefits everybody involved because it
Mhm.
puts more eyes and ears on them. So, looking at that as, a first of many opportunity, potentially. So I've got some feelers out on some other things that'll be happening throughout the year that are pretty notable. But just gotta wait and see. Wait to get word. So, but
Yeah.
yeah, definitely starting the year off well. Absolutely, just coming out of the gates and just really
Was it
trying to take this further. So
wasn't it around the beginning of 2023? I don't remember the exact date. It might have been 2022, but when was it that you did the work with the or interviewed the Titan social media manager?
oh, that was mid 2022.
Oh, it's 2022. Okay.
Yeah, that was mid 2022. Yeah,
Those
Nate Bain came on the show. Good friend of the
that was
show.
like that was huge too when you got him, which look how much of a pro I am. It gives us a segue into now what we're going to talk about.
Yet again, yet again.
Look at
So
me.
yeah,
Look at
so
me.
the NFL season, NFL playoffs raging on. We've got,
Yeah.
of course, the NFC Championship coming up with Detroit and San Francisco. The AFC divisional round is wrapping up right now.
And
But while
as
I'm looking up the score, go for it.
as we are recording this, the Bills and the Chiefs are slugging it out for a spot to play against the Ravens next week. What is the
Yeah.
score of the game?
Right now, it's 27-24 Kansas City, fourth quarter, 9:17 to go.
Damn.
As of recording, I mean, once this is out, of course, it'll be,
Right.
but
So,
anyway, you
I'm gonna be
segued us for a
predicting-
different reason.
And congratulations to the Bills on winning.
All right, we'll see.
We'll
see if that holds up.
Hopefully I'm right. Yeah, but we've got some teams that we are fans of that aren't playing this weekend.
Yeah.
One of which played last weekend, one of which hasn't played in a while.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it was funny because back in December, the Dolphins and the Titans played. Now, I grew up a Dolphins fan, been a Dolphins fan my whole life. And then they started trying to throw games, or at least their owner, Stephen Ross, tried to get Brian Flores to throw games. And I already lived here. So I'm like, yeah. And I already lived here. So I'm like, well, I'm a Titans fan now. So I was between the Bengals and the Titans because I really like Joe Burrow, but I live here. So Titans, right? And then, the Titans, kind of been on their way down, and the Dolphins appear on their way up. So I'm like, you know what? This Monday Night Football game in December between the Titans and Dolphins is going to be a battle for my heart. Whoever wins this game is my favorite team now going forward.
And suddenly the Titans had a lot to play for.
Yeah, and the Dolphins, I'm giving the Dolphins every chance to come back in the door like the Toxic X. And what do? What they always do, they completely poop the bed, and the Titans win 28-27 and remain my favorite football team.
I couldn't believe they won that game.
Me neither. I was sure the Dolphins were going to win. Because
I am, for those that don't know, I have been a Titans fan since they were the Titans. And also, I've probably been, I was little or, much, much younger. I've probably been a Houston Oilers fan for a decent amount of time too.
And with those unis, why not?
Oh yeah,
those in football.
Yeah, the powder blue, the Oilers uniforms go hard.
Yeah.
But I've been a Titans fan for as long as I've followed the NFL. And it's just, I was
kind of sad to see the end of an era.
Sad. And the problem is the era, like the best we did was make one AFC championship game. That's it. That was the era. And now Derrick Henry's probably gone. Tannehill's for sure gone. Your love-hate, well, it's mostly hate relationship with Tannehill.
I'd rather have Levis, Captain Mayonnaise. I'd much rather have him.
I don't quite know yet.
Look, I had to deal with Tannehill in Miami, all right, and then I begrudgingly followed him over to Tennessee. So
he wasn't awful for Tennessee. He's just old now, but
he was just okay. He's always just been okay.
The running back that was behind Derrick Henry, Tajay Spears, he looks like a stud though. I think he's gonna slot in well at running back one. But it's just it's unfortunate that I was shocked that the Titans finished in last place in the division.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
Shocked. Because it's so sad that like the other three teams in the division, the Texans, the Colts, and the Jaguars, are seemingly on the rise.
Well, I don't know about the Jags. I feel like the Jags have peaked.
The way they ended the season was very Titans last year.
Yeah, I feel like
it's like almost mirror image of the Titans last year, but it still feels like they're a team on the rise. You might be right; they may have peaked, but it's clear that
this version of the Jags has peaked. They need to do something now, to improve. Yeah,
you're probably right, but like, it's debatable what the Jags are. If anything, they may have plateaued. But like, it's clear the Titans are in decline. It's clear. Like, they got rid of REVEL, which I think that was a mistake. I think that was absolutely a mistake. I think his seat is hot, but that's for next year. I don't think you should have fired him.
No, he gets one more year for everything he did to turn the club around. I think he should have gotten one more year. I agree with
Yeah,
that.
and he didn't, and that's and now here's the other thing. This is unrelated, but like this is wild considering I live in Atlanta. But Bill Belichick was someone took a picture of Bill Belichick in an Atlanta area Chick-fil-A, so it's more than likely that he's coming to the Falcons. He's had two
20,
interviews.
28-3.
He's had two interviews with the Falcons already. I bet you the first question they asked in both of those interviews was, first of all, Bill, how dare you? How dare you ruin our 28-3 lead? How dare you?
And then the next question they asked him is, so can you tell us about a time where you've had to overcome great adversity in the workplace?
That's probably the third question. The second question is probably why? Why? In that exact tone. And then the third question is that one. When they both know what the answer is.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So it's unfortunate. You can't really say I'm hopping off the bandwagon because usually you only hop off bandwagons when they were formerly great, and I wouldn't really classify the Titans in that era as ever being great.
There were great moments though, and
there were great moments. Yeah,
and at one point Derek was the best player in the league, and I would put him up against anybody. And a couple years ago, I think he was the best player in football.
That 2,000-yard season was unreal.
Yeah, yeah.
But I might be hopping off the bandwagon for a new team.
Oh, who's that team?
Well, I'm gonna let you guess. It sounded like you had an idea.
My guess, I don't know, but before when we were talking
I'll tell you one team it's not.
Okay.
The Dolphins.
Yeah, well, I don't blame you.
And it's obviously not going to be the Patriots.
The longest playoff win drought in football. The Miami Dolphins, not the Lions.
Oh, it's the Dolphins now. Yeah.
Yep.
I will say I love the Lions. That team is awesome. That story is awesome. Mm-hmm. That's also not going to be the team.
Okay. I mean, I was before, when we were talking about this before we hit record, I was going to say the Texans because CJ Stroud is amazing and they have a really good thing going, building for the future. But I don't know. You seem to be pretty like on board with the Jags. Is it the Jags?
There's no way in God's green earth it would be the Jags. There's no way. I was just saying that I thought they were still on the rise. Like, that's just me trying to be as objective as possible. But honestly, they can tank for all I care. It would never be the Jags. It's never going to be the Jags. It's never going to be the Colts.
So it's the Texans.
I never said it wasn't the Texans. Why would it be someone in the same division as the Titans?
I don't know, because before the episode, you told me Titans fans are going to hate me for this.
Okay, yeah, it's the Texans. You were right. You were right.
I don't blame you. CJ Stroud is the man. I mean, D'Amico Ryans did a great job. That defense until the second half yesterday.
The other thing people should know about me that I don't think they know is I'm a huge Ohio State fan because I'm originally from Ohio. And the reason why I chose the Titans or the Oilers back then was because they had Eddie George, who was a Heisman Trophy winning running back at Ohio State. So then he got drafted by the Oilers, and I became an Oilers/Titans fan because of that. So it makes sense that I would latch on to another team that has a star player from Ohio State. So now this isn't set in stone. I haven't said I am hopping off the Titans bandwagon, becoming a Texans fan. I'm just considering it. And I want to see who the Titans hire at head coach. I want to see. It's probably going to be me like giving the Titans one more year, like they should have given Vrabel.
Hey now,
like their seat is hot now. Amy Adams. Wait, what's her? I forget the owner's name.
Amy Adams Strunk.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. You're on the hot seat for my love, for my heart. This is a season for my heart. You better go You better win at least 8 games.
So one person who won't be the head coach is Antonio Pierce, who did interview for the job, but the Raiders did take the interim tag off of him and hired him as their head coach, which good move if you're, I almost said Oakland, if you're the Las Vegas Raiders, because here's the thing. The Broncos are going nowhere. That's pretty clear, right? The Chargers are always going to be the Chargers. Now you're just competing with the Chiefs for that division, and you've got a guy that your players will run through a brick wall for. Like I wouldn't be surprised to see the Raiders and Chiefs battling it out till late in the season for the division next year.
That wouldn't surprise me either. And it's nice that Mark Davis finally put his pride aside for this one, because they had, in my opinion, the last time they were in this same exact scenario was not even a couple years ago, after John Gruden got fired for saying the N-word in an email. Nice job, buddy. But they made Rich Bisaccia the interim head coach, and he did really well, and the players really played hard for him too. And Mark Davis didn't hire him.
Right.
When I thought he was the slam dunk, and I think a lot of other people thought he was the slam dunk pick for head coach. And I think, I mean, this is obviously me guessing, but it felt like Mark Davis didn't want to hire him because it wasn't his hire.
Right.
So he was like, I can't do this. I have to sneeze 1 second.
But to your point, it also gave Mark Davis and the organization a chance to learn from that, right? Like,
yeah,
they saw what happened. They didn't get the results they wanted by doing it the way that they did it, right? And so you have another situation where the players are really rallying around a guy where he's the clear fit to lead the team. You're not going to let that get away twice. And if you do, then you're another one of these teams that's never going to win anything, right? Like, we all know who those franchises are, right? Like
the Titans.
Arizona, Carolina right now. I wouldn't say the Titans. I would
just let me wallow in my pain.
Okay, you can wallow in your pain. I think the Titans have, some rebuilding to do, but I think they'll do it. Like they're committed to putting a good product out on the field. I do feel that way. And there have been really good to great Titans teams throughout history. It's just it hasn't resulted in a championship to this point, right? But like the Chargers, for example, or like Arizona, like those are the go nowhere franchises in the NFL. Like
honestly, I think the Chargers are better set up than the Titans.
The Chargers?
In my opinion, the Titans are like a beach town that had a hurricane go through it, a Category 5 hurricane go through it, and then an earthquake struck it, and then aliens came and abducted everyone that lived, and then it all caught on fire, and then Rikishi sat on them.
I will agree that right now the Chargers have more talent on their team. However, organizationally, they're a mess, and they've always been a mess, right? And they just have never really been able to get over that hump.
Well,
Marty Schottenheimer getting fired after 14-2. Enough said.
Well, wasn't that the year that they had the best offense and defense in the league, but the worst special teams by far?
Yes.
Yeah, that was such a weird year for the Chargers.
Yeah, 14-2. They lost the Patriots, I believe, in the divisional round, and they fired Marty Schottenheimer after a 14-2 season. They don't deserve nice things.
I mean, that special teams was atrocious. I watched a video essay on YouTube about that team, and they talked about how absolutely atrocious that special teams was.
Well, sure, but 14-2, you fire the coach. You don't fire the coach after 14-2.
That's true.
Yeah. And also they moved to LA for no reason. Like, I don't think LA wanted one team, and now they have two.
They won a Super Bowl. Oh, wait, that was the Rams.
That was the Rams.
That was a dig on the chart. That was an intentional dig on the Chargers.
That was the other LA team nobody cares about. But anyway.
Nobody in LA cares about LA sports.
No. Well, the Dodgers do well.
Well, now because they have Ohtani.
Yeah. I think it's
decided to drive. He decided to go from Anaheim to Los Angeles.
Yeah, the Dodgers just drop money at their own whims and just sign whoever they want. And it doesn't win them championships, but
we're a sportscast or a sports podcast today.
Yeah, today we became a sports podcast. Look at this. But we also offer variety here at the Quinn Spin, don't we? And in lieu of Scotty Rock not being able to join us tonight, we have a fill-in, don't we, JD?
Yeah, nice to meet you. My name is Feelin, and I'm about to do fill it,
Some
fill in stupid news.
stupid news
Stupid
with JD.
news. Oh, thank you. I feel very Scotty Rock right now. This is
Yeah.
powerful. I know how he feels.
How does
Which,
it
by
feel
the
being
way,
voted?
Scotty, get better soon. Happy birthday and get better soon. This is a shitty thing to have on your birthday, but
Yes.
happy birthday. Love you. Get better soon. And with that, let's get into today's stupid news, which I am automatically disqualifying from any tournaments or year best or anything like that because I am not the normal person. So this might suck. Here we go. It's Canadian, by the way.
You just had a nice voice crack there, like Scotty Rock, too.
Oh, did I? Wow, I'm playing the part well. Holy cow.
Awesome.
All right, so we've got a conspiracy theorist who blamed the government for forest fires just admitted that he started 14 of them himself. This was in Quebec, Canada. A Canadian man who spread online conspiracy theories saying the government was deliberately starting forest fires pleaded guilty to personally setting 14 fires himself, the CBC reported. Brian Pare, 38, pleaded guilty to 13 counts of arson and 1 count of arson. Oh, sorry, 1 count of arson. I read that. I'm like, shouldn't it just be 14? Why don't you just do some fucking addition? But it's I didn't read the rest of it. Maybe I should actually read the article. Brian Pare, 38, pleaded guilty to 13 counts of arson and 1 count of arson with disregard for human life at a courthouse in oh boy. It's a city in Quebec.
Now you're really like Scotty Rock.
Chibougamau. Chibougamau. I'm so sorry, Quebec. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry, Quebec. I'm so sorry.
On God, for real.
According to the CBC, prosecutors told the court that Pare started 2 fires that led to the evacuation of about 500 homes in Chapai, Quebec last year. A mandatory evacuation order was issued in the town on May 31st following a fire at an airport and at Lake Cavan. Prosecutor Marie-Philippe Charon told the court per CBC. I can get that name right, but I can't get that fucking town. Never mind. I'm beating myself up again. The fire scorched more than 2,000 acres of forest, she said, and you heard my voice crack again. Yeah, so once again, every accusation is a confession.
Mm-hmm.
This person was trying to
blame the government.
Prove his conspiracy theories correct by doing the very thing he was theorizing. So technically, he was right. So we should probably start following him because he knows he knows his shit. He was right. He was technically right.
Well,
I'm gonna get off that train real fast.
I was gonna say
that was sarcasm.
That's an interesting leap to make, but
I said that very convincingly, but that was sarcasm.
And this is where we get a YouTube warning, everybody.
And this is where I am banned.
Remember how we built up a YouTube following? Well, that's all gone now.
That's
Thanks,
God.
JD.
I'd just like to say that this person is don't start fires.
I'd just like to say that I'd like to apologize for my co-host comments. His opinions and views do not reflect those of the Quinn Spinn underground musical I did or any of its subsidiaries.
Look, this is what happens when you get me to do stupid news. All right.
Yeah.
Not only do I find a stupid news story, but the way I read it, the way I interpret it, and the way it happens all becomes stupid as well.
Took it off the rails.
I'm just playing up the gimmick.
You just did what you do here at the Quinn Spinn. You took it off the rails.
You're welcome.
It worked.
Thank you. Je ne sais quoi. That's French.
Do you know what it means? Because I don't.
No. I'm American. What do you think? I don't think I know. I don't know what anything means.
I eat freedom fries. I eat
freedom fries and I shoot my gun. Woo! I'd like
All
to
right.
apologize. I'd like to apologize for myself. Those are my opinions, however, and I probably should change them.
Stupid news with
Stupid
JD
news!
filling in
I
for Scotty Rock.
don't ever let me do that again.
We got to get Scotty's opinion on this.
I hope he finds like the magic cure for whatever he has, so I never have to do that again.
He just logs in right now and
I feel he just yeah. Oh wait, hold on. I think he just banned me on social or blocked me on social media.
Yeah, he senses that we're besmirching stupid news.
My lord.
Well, we tried it. We tried it.
That was a stupid news of all time.
Yeah,
that was a stupid news of all time.
It was a stupid news that happened. Yes.
But the goal of stupid news is not to make you smarter, because that wouldn't be very stupid.
Exactly.
Now would it?
Yeah. So you're welcome.
Yeah, exactly. I did exactly. I should get a raise.
I mean, wouldn't we all have to be getting paid for this first?
Yeah, I was just about to say, you multiply anything by 0, it's still 0.
Yeah. Yeah.
So,
but
I guess I did technically get a raise then.
You get to add another syllable to your nickname.
Can I be like JDD?
Sure. As a matter of fact, I can change that here right now.
What
was that one episode?
I could have had something so much better. So much better. And instead I went with JDD. I just added a letter. And not only a different letter, a letter I was already using. Why couldn't it be like JDV? JDB. I know it's too late. That's why I'm saying all this. That's why I'm like the way I am right now, because I'm upset at myself.
I already allocated our precious finite resources toward giving
like
you that
5 cents.
Not even.
Well, I mean, the nickname budget was already out.
Yeah.
Like I've been knew this.
Yeah. So now we're over budget. And
looks like I'm not getting my raise.
We made it happen. Well, no, you just did. You got an extra letter.
No. I mean, that's like exposure. It's like getting paid in exposure. What the hell is going on?
I don't know, but you know what? There's always a chance for new things, JDD. And, it's a new year. First time we're doing an OG fam get together here on the Quinn Spinn in 2024.
New year, same me.
All right. Well, I was going to go a different direction with this, but I mean, sure. But we were talking, before the show started about, New Year's resolutions, but perhaps with a twist, because I have my own theory on New Year's resolutions and why they fail. But instead of just giving straight up resolutions, we had talked about perhaps giving something that each of us wants to continue into 2024, into the new year, as well as something we'd each like to leave behind in 2023.
So I had lots of trouble with something I wanted to continue, bring with me to 2024. And the only thing that I could really think of, and the reason I didn't like commit to this was because I didn't have a great way to explain this or talk about it. But it's the way I see it is, I'm going to call it interpersonal effort. That's what I'm going to call it. So there's a lot of things that I see out there. There's a lot of things I see out there, like on social media, or things would be like, oh, you pour into the people that pour into you, or like spend your love where it's going to be appreciated, things like that. And I think most of the time that generally works, but like I think in today's society, a lot of us are struggling. A lot of us are very busy, or a lot of us just have like lots of things to juggle. And it can be tough to maintain relationships, when I say relationships, I mean all types of relationships, family, friends, partners. When I say relationships, I don't mean it just in a romantic sense. But it can be hard to juggle all that stuff, especially with trying to keep up, with taking care of yourself as well. So I think there's um a conflict between those two things, like spend your energy where it's going to be appreciated, and also trying to be mindful that a lot of people are struggling, and a lot of people sometimes just don't have the time or the energy or the mental capacity to juggle all that stuff. So what I want to do in 2024 is just put the effort out there anyway, and realize that I don't want my friendships to be transactional, because I think I've spent a lot of time thinking they're transactional, especially like when I grew up in the era of like AOL Instant Messenger. So like you'd send an IM to somebody, and then you expect one back, and go conversations. Growing up in the 90s and early 2000s, conversations always felt like they opened and they closed.
Mhm.
You said hi to somebody and then you said goodbye when a conversation ended. And now that we are all online all the time, and you can reach out to somebody like that, you know, these conversations these days aren't defined like that. It's not a hello or a goodbye. It's a you kind of are like ships passing in the night, and occasionally you pass by each other at the same time. So it's like I can put stuff out there and not worry about it coming back to me, because I want to show you that I love you, I appreciate you, I'm wishing you well. And it doesn't matter if you do it for me or not. It's okay. But you know, I want to be on the side where I'm still putting effort in to those relationships, because it's just what I want to do. It's how I
Mhm.
want to be as a person, and it's how I want to support and love people, just being positive and sending that stuff. And that's what works for me. I know it might not work for other people. You know, the you may want to put your effort and your love and your attention to people that will reciprocate it for you, but I just want to keep putting it out there, keep putting it out there, keep putting it out there, because that's what I want to do for myself.
Powerful, powerful. And yeah, I mean, I think, I could stand to do better in that regard myself as far as, being the one to reach out, regardless of expectation. And to your point, it is tough because, like, we're all juggling a million things, and like, sometimes those days go better than others. Sometimes those things go better than others. And I think we spend we're more connected than we've ever been, but we also spend more time by ourselves than we ever have. Like,
Yeah.
we've become this very individualistic society, and I think, like, in some regards, like, it's good to, step into your power, of course, but in some regards, I feel like that has happened to our detriment. Like, I think there are a lot of people fooling themselves into thinking they don't need genuine human connection, you know?
Yeah. The way that I've kind of articulated it to myself as I've thought about it is the internet let us be connected to everybody, but we've lost community.
Mm,
So, like, yeah, I can go and reach out to someone that lives in a different state or a different country. I can reach out to them whenever I want. But because we have this internet, because it's so easy to connect with everybody anywhere in the world, our
mhm,
local communities, and this is also another consequence of this is the fact that there's so few suburbs that aren't walkable cities.
mhm,
We don't have many walkable cities in this country any longer, and that,
right,
I think, hurts building community.
mhm.
So that's something I didn't really have in 2023, but it's something I'm definitely trying to build, is getting back to community and building connection through community rather than online.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. Yeah, and that's a focus of mine too. I've actually resolved to at least once a week. I'm trying to get out to something in town. You know,
Mhm.
something, anything, you know, related to music or you know, just to where people are. You know, because yeah, we have more tools at our disposal, like I said, to connect with other people. But like the best way to connect is still face to face, in my opinion. You know, like
Mm.
the online stuff, like, it's, you know, it's a garnish in a lot of ways to, like, the relationships that actually develop in real time, you know,
Yeah.
like, it helps you keep conversations going and, like, stay in the flow, stay in the loop, but there's nothing like getting in a room with somebody, like, even Zoom helps us to a degree, but it's, like, not the same as, like, being in the room with other people's energies, right?
Yeah.
And you know, so yeah, I think it's somebody's gotta be the one to start that, right? You know? And so I like that for you, JDD.
Shit. Yeah. Thank you. I
I
forgot I
had
had that second D now.
yeah, JDD. Yeah. We're
What
gonna
about
keep
you?
trying. So for me, I mean, things to carry into it's interesting how you like took an approach of like improving something into 2023 too, because I could definitely like that definitely resonates. But as far as things I'm going to carry and continue from 2023 into 2024. First of all, this hair. I mean, you know, look at this.
Woo!
Yeah, I'm going to see Creed in August. I gotta have the stat main ready and flowing. Um,
You don't want your hair to be my sacrifice.
exactly. I'm not sacrificing anything. This hair will take me higher, and I'm
Uh,
embracing its growth with arms
woo!
wide open.
Yes.
Hmm. So,
But
second, of course, you
but
know,
but sorry.
oh, go ahead. No, go ahead.
What if you cut it? What if you
Well,
cut?
well, then I could style it like Scott Stapp, my hero and savior. Is
That's fair. Sorry, I just had to put one more Creed song reference in there. My
yeah,
apologies.
no, it's fine. There are never too many.
That's true.
So that's number 1. Number 2, of course, I'm gonna continue my Quinn Quake. You know, gotta keep
That
working with Coach McQuakes.
that's
That's
yourself.
no. He is the man I aspire to be. Um,
Well, you've accomplished that goal because you are him.
no. I'm definitely not Coach McQuakes. But anyway, moving on now. Um, overall, you know, the routine I mentioned at the top of the show has actually really done wonders. You know, I think just for helping me stay organized, help me stay focused, help me focus on the right things. You know, I think there was definitely a point in my Nashville existence. I don't just think, I know there was a point in my Nashville existence where, you know, I struggled, I think, with consistency, you know, and especially after taking the leap in 2021 when you don't have that day job you have to be at, right?
Mm,
Like, you know, having that set schedule, having that routine, having that consistency, and not getting pulled into every distraction that's available to you just because you can. You know, like
yeah.
it's been a process to get there. And last fall, after I got back here after being up north for Music Fest and the Caper, I finally got into that routine where, and I finally just decided, you know what, I got to wake up earlier because I've got to get more done during the day so I can, you know, go and focus on the things I need to focus on later on, you know, afternoon, evening, if it's an event, if it's another gigs, whatever it is. And it's really just what I do. I get up at 5, I'm on the road by 6 because you have to be, you know, like I
Mm,
said, or you're gonna be sitting in traffic all day. Get the Quinn Quake in, and then I get to it, you know, and then I've got the entire day to do what I need to do, keep that as structured as possible. Weekends, I kinda dial it back a little bit because we need rest sometimes. I actually got 10 hours of sleep last night, which, believe it
there
or
you
not,
go.
you know, it's been a long time since that happened. But I'm excited to carry that now into this year and have so far. And I already I see it paying dividends and I see it really just like, you know, continuing to bring me closer to what I envision and continuing to bring me closer to the person I need to be to achieve that vision, right? And, you know, you could say that it's bringing me closer to Coach McQuake's, you know, and being in that rarefied
Mm,
air. So that is the thing that I want to continue into 2024 and have already begun continuing. So next we move to what do we want to leave behind in
mm.
2023?
The Titans.
Hey
First of all,
now!
um, that same Titans team that I equated to a beach town that got hit by a hurricane and then an earthquake and
All the
fire.
things. Yeah.
Aliens abducted all the survivors, and then there was a huge fire, and then Rikishi sat on it. But No, for real though, I forgot. Which might actually be a good thing because that means that there wasn't anything memorable enough that I needed to leave behind. But I cannot remember it. Do you remember what I said?
No, but I remember what I said. If it gives you
Ah,
a couple
shit.
minutes, buys
Okay,
us some
yeah.
time.
Okay, yeah. Go
So,
ahead. By all means.
so it's kind of related to my previous thing where, getting in this routine, becoming closer aligned with, the person I need to be to lead the platform, the person I need to be to build the life that I want, means that there are things that I need to continually be in the process of mitigating, leaving behind, not doing, that kind of thing.
Hmm.
And so, it's kind of abstract, but basically like any behavior, any activity, anything that brings me out of alignment and makes me feel like I'm not, moving with intention, moving in accordance with my values, moving with purpose, like it's time for it to go. One
Hmm.
thing that I definitely think about, and I'm not like, I'm not so hard line on this that, I'm never going to kick back and relax, but like, I'm going to be 37 in March. And like the days of me like going to the club, and being
Mm,
hungover on a Sunday morning, into Sunday afternoon
to
are
be in the
over.
club.
Yeah,
Yes.
like that version of me is dead. Like, and I don't miss him, and
Ooh.
it's because I'm just a better version of myself. I'm attracting better people into my life, and like there's just a lot less chaotic energy in my life because like I'm not just going out for the sake of going out because that's what you do on a Friday or Saturday night. You know, I'm I last night was Saturday as of recording. I went to bed at 10:30. I'm like, well, all right, I'm done. Night. And I got 10 hours of sleep, like I said, and it was glorious.
Hell
And
yeah.
like I woke up feeling good, refreshed, ready to get to the day. And I got to the day. And like that brings me closer into alignment with building the platform I want to build, surrounding myself with the people and the team I want to surround myself with, and being able to give to the people I care about, to the things I care about, and create abundance, right?
Hmm.
And so anything that takes away from that abundance, habits, relationships, whatever it is, like it's time to cut some of these things. And that's honestly something I've been doing for the past couple of years, as you know, JDD, is I've been continually refining the energy around me, and I'm excited to. I feel like it's pretty well refined, but I definitely think there's always more work to be done. So I'm excited to keep doing it.
Nice.
Do you remember yours yet?
I do. I
Ooh.
do. Um, I am gonna leave overthinking back in 2023. My I almost tell people, um, it almost seems like my mind works too well. Like people tell me how smart I am, but then at the same time, I there's some nights where I can be up all night just overthinking everything and getting depressed and anxious about overthinking all this stuff. Um, so, and one of the ways that it manifests itself is with just doing like menial chores around the house.
Mhm.
Um, for some reason, I assign these arbitrary rules to things that need to be done around the house. Like, for instance, I don't run the dishwasher until it's completely full. I don't do my laundry till like I'm out of underwear. I don't do there's a lot of these things that I just like have these arbitrary rules about, and it gets harder for me personally when it happens and it's like, oh shit, I've got to get this done now. Well, then I put a barrier up in my head. It's like, well, no,
Mm,
no. So like I've been telling myself, why do I have to put rules on the stuff that I don't want to do? Like, if I think about it, I should just do it. Like, if I think about running the dishwasher, doesn't matter what's in there. It could be empty. Run it. If I think about doing the laundry, go do laundry. I think about cleaning something, which by the way will never happen, but if it ever does, it's a miracle. But go do it, you know. And I haven't put it into practice much, but I think it's gonna help me. I think. And I haven't really thought about anything outside of just like chores or anything like that. And like I also overthink with stuff like thinking all my friends hate me and they don't actually care about me at all. Like I've got some friends that live out of state that I haven't heard from in a while, and it's hard not to think they just don't care about you, you know. So I overthink that stuff all the time, and it's just like, why am I spending all this energy just overthinking? It's not helping me. It's not helping me. And that's another reason why I wanted to keep doing the things that I was doing with, you know, sending love and appreciation and all that stuff out there, is because I'm trying to tackle the overthinking with just putting more of that out there because it's a positive thing.
Mhm.
So I'm like combating the overthinking with doing that. So
With
that's
action.
with
Mhm.
action. Yeah. That's why I say that's something that I feel like is going to work for me, but like other people are wired differently or going through different situations. Like it may not work for you. But I'm definitely going to try because I may not succeed, but I'm definitely going to try to leave overthinking back in 2023.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. I feel like you don't do much overthinking.
Uh, I definitely do. I don't. Not as okay. Not as much as I used to. And I think like certain events that have occurred in my life over the past couple of years have gotten me to the point where, especially in certain areas of my life, I just don't really give an F anymore,
Oh,
you know?
oh,
And I'm just like, whatever,
tell him, big
like,
dog.
I mean, I think one of the things that, the entrepreneurial journey has taught me is that like you can come back from things, you can come back
Mm,
from mistakes. You can, as long as you apply the lesson and do better, like that's the game. Like you're supposed to mess up a lot, right? Like
yeah.
if you don't mess up a lot, you're not growing and you're not doing it right. And
That,
so like I overthink a lot less. I think one area where I do overthink still is relationships,
okay.
but not as much as I used to, because like I used to very much like be in my head about it and be in my head about, the not feeling good enough thing. I think now I'm at a place where it's like I know what I have to work on and I know the things about my life that I feel I need to improve before I welcome somebody in to my space in that regard. Talking romantic
Hmm.
relationship, right? So it's all part of the plan. You know what I mean? It's like, all right, and then I know for a fact because I've purposely taken myself out of the game for a while for other reasons, based on just traumas and things that have happened. But like I know for a fact that like when it comes around to where I do feel like welcoming somebody into my space in that context is a good idea, there's going to be another layer of work to start. And so
Mm,
right now it's just like let me just fortify every other area of my life. So I have so much proof. I have so much evidence around me of like, okay, like I've gotten all this strong and solid and just rolling on all cylinders. Like I can handle this. Like, and I'm inviting somebody into something more abundant than it's ever been before.
hmm.
And that I think, there's been a lot of insecurity around that, especially as I've, had to evolve my own relationship with this creative journey and being on it, like, and breaking past certain stigmas, breaking past certain, you know, feelings of unworthiness and not being good enough and not, and wondering if, I have what it takes, the imposter syndrome,
Mm,
has definitely shown up for me. But now that I'm, working through and, in a lot of ways have made a lot of progress on those things, yeah, it makes the prospect of welcoming somebody in more palatable to me, and now it's just a matter of like, okay, what other areas of my life do I want to work on? So when that happens, I'm ready,
hmm.
and it's not so much a matter of, well, this needs to happen first and this needs to happen first and this needs to happen first and then I'll do it, because I feel like we can make a lot of excuses for ourselves that way when we're just like, well, when we're putting a bunch of prerequisites in front of something, like, when when that opportunity presents itself, when that person presents herself, like, you kind of know when, there's something worth pursuing, and I just, want to have things in as good a spot as they can be, knowing that they're always going to have a chance to improve. I want to have
Mhm.
myself in as good a spot as I can be, knowing that I'm always going to have things to work on, right? Because I think the important thing is working on ourselves, and making sure that we're showing up as the best version of ourselves for the people around us, for our communities, for whatever we touch in the world. If we're pouring from an empty cup, there's nothing that anybody's getting out of that. There's no value that anyone's getting from that, right? So
Mhm.
how am I, through what I'm building, creating value so whoever comes into my life in any context, stands to value and be better for the experience. I think that's really, and honestly, it stopped me from overthinking so much, because before, I think it was more a sense of like, well, how do I even start doing that? It's like, you just do it.
Yeah.
That's why I started getting up at 5, because I knew I needed more hours in my day, more meaningful hours in my day to do all the things I need to do to show up as the person I need to be. And now I feel like I'm doing that, and I need to keep doing it. I'm going to keep building that momentum. So it's quelled a lot of what was going on up here, I think in, 2021, 2022 in particular, and, parts of 23, it's quelled a lot of the doubts. It's quelled a lot of the second guessing, a lot of those feelings of imposter syndrome, of not good enough. So I've, but, not to say I don't have my moments, because I most certainly do.
Oh yeah, we all have our moments. I think it's just about minimizing how many times those moments happen.
Yeah. And catching yourself in them, right?
Mhm.
Recognizing when it's happening and having a technique for bringing your mind to a different place, changing your relationship with those moments to where, instead of letting them become spirals, it's like, I caught it. Okay. What is my solution? Focusing your mind on solutions instead of on the problem itself, or even just the perceived problem, right?
Mhm.
Which overthinking tends to lead us to a lot of perceived problems that might not be rooted in reality at all. So, what can we do to divert our minds toward being solution oriented? That is the
Being lit as
challenge.
fuck.
Yeah. Yeah. How can we constantly show up lit AF every day?
Do you know? Okay, so while you were talking, I was thinking in my head like, shit, I've been really serious for like the past 10 minutes. I need to like say a joke.
You need to take the show off the rails.
I need to I don't know why I did that. That's just me overthinking.
Well, maybe we're overthinking it right now. Just let it be. Let it exist as your art in the
I
world.
mean, it's when it comes to me, it's pretty much implied that I'm always overthinking.
Fair.
Like this mind never shuts off. Except when I'm sleeping, which thank God. Imagine I was thinking while I was sleeping. That'd be well, I guess that's a dream. I guess that's technically a
Yeah.
dream.
Hmm.
That's a dream. Yeah.
I have some pretty gnarly ones once in a while, but we won't get into that. What are you doing out there? What are you leaving behind in 2023? What are you continuing into 2024? Will you resolve this year to be lit AF in everything you do? Let us know in the comments.
Are you going to stay a Titans fan?
Let us know that in the comments too. Who's your team? Claim your team
Claim
before the
your
bandwagon.
team.
Yeah, before the bandwagons, even though it's the
Oh,
playoffs.
Super Bowl pick. There's now there's only 4 teams left. The game is in fact over.
And the result?
And I was wrong. The Chiefs won.
The Chiefs won. I was not expecting that.
27-24, the Chiefs.
Oh wow, so
Um,
they hung on.
or is that one commercial said the chefs? Have you seen that commercial?
I do remember that.
Yeah, okay.
Nice job. Who are the chefs?
Yeah.
You painted it
Um,
on and had to start all over. Yeah.
so we've got 4 teams left. It'll be the Ravens versus the Chiefs. It'll be the 49ers versus the Lions. What is your Super Bowl pick?
I mean, as much as I want to go with the Lions because they're America's team, Look at the logo, man. It's rigged. It's the Ravens and it's the Niners, purple and red, just like the year
Oh, that's
before.
right.
Rigged. It's rigged. It's rigged.
Um,
And if the NFL wants to prove me wrong and put the Lions in the Super Bowl, go ahead. But I think it's Ravens Niners. I legitimately think those are the two best teams in the league. But it is
I think
kind
so
of a
too.
weird
I
coincidence
think so
that,
too.
it's just a little weird that the third year in a
Yeah.
row, the colors will match the logo.
So before the season started, for the last 3 years now, I've had my mom write down my Super Bowl picks.
Mhm.
Um, the first year I did it, I picked the Rams to beat the Chiefs in the Super Bowl. It ended up being Rams Bengals. So I was very close, and I picked the Super Bowl winner. Last year, I picked the oh God, who did I pick? I didn't pick the Eagles, and I picked the Bills and the Buccaneers, I think, and I was wrong. The Bills winning. This year, I had the Bengals winning over the 49ers.
Ooh, that.
So,
Hmm.
um, I'm usually good for one team, although last year I got them both wrong. I almost got it exactly right the first year I did it. So I got to stick with the 49ers. I also think they are legitimately gonna. I think they are gonna beat the Lions. And I'm with you too. I can't see. I think it's actually. I don't want to say it's a miracle, but I'm a little surprised that the Chiefs even made it this far. I thought they were going to lose to the Bills.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to beat the Ravens. And the way I see it too, I was technically right because I was in the right division.
Mhm.
I had the Bengals. So I was technically right. I got the right division. So I was correct. Um, please don't give me that. I don't deserve that. But I definitely agree. 49ers Ravens, but I actually think the Ravens are going to win.
Yeah, I do too. They're the team with the fewest number of holes.
So now I'm
Like,
curious. Oh, go ahead. Finish your point.
well, no, I was gonna say, like, they can beat you so many ways on offense,
Mm-hmm.
They've got an incredible running game. The passing game's there. The defense is like, where is there a weakness? Where is there a weakness in Baltimore? The Niners, like, they just beat Green Bay, and Green Bay was a 7 seed. And like, although, if San Francisco's rolling on all cylinders, they're just as good as Baltimore. They've had more weak moments this season. So you have to look at it that way. Like, Baltimore is the hottest team. They have the fewest number of holes, and that's it. I don't think next week's AFC Championship is going to be close. I'll put it that way. I think
Really?
Baltimore wins by 2 scores. I think the Chiefs, it's going to catch up to them. Like the flaws that they've experienced all year are going to catch up to them next week against that Baltimore team.
Mm.
I think the Lions will put up one heck of a fight, but I think the Niners are going to eke them out because the Niners are a more complete team. Defensively, they're a better team than Detroit. Offensively, they can match them blow for blow. So Niners, Ravens, but I think the Ravens are going to ultimately take it all. There's just no better team in the league.
I I was looking while you're saying all that. I was trying to see if next year's Super Bowl logo was out yet to see if we could preemptively predict that one based off of the colors. It's not. I wasted my time.
Cardinals, Chargers. You know what I think? Cardinals,
It
Chargers.
yeah, it I hope to God it's not yellow because I can't see a yellow team making it to the Super Bowl. Like Packers, no. Steelers, no. Chargers, no. Like,
Rams.
no. I can't see a yellow team making it. Is there
I
another
don't.
yellow team that I forgot?
Um. I don't know, but obviously, if there is, they're not that memorable. But I don't know. The Packers might take some steps forward next year, though.
Yeah, I don't think enough to make it to a Super Bowl though.
But definitely to an NFC Championship game. Or they will again lose to San Francisco.
They could make. Oh yeah, that's right. Packers losing to San Francisco in the playoffs again.
Mm-hmm.
I think. I mean, that's a young team. I think I could see NFC Championship game. I don't think they'll make a Super Bowl in Jordan Love's career.
Ooh, that is a big prediction.
I don't think. No. Nope. Unless they get. I mean, like, if something happens where they're like, I don't know, they draft like the Tom Brady of wide receivers or something like that. Like, if something seismic happens. Oh, what's up, Coach McQuakes? Yeah. No, I just said seismic. No, you don't have to show up. For some reason, he shows up when I say seismic.
So you see, I'm not Coach McQuakes.
No, because I actually made that up. That was all a bit.
Oh, well, I'll send him your way.
I got beat up by Mickey on a podcast. My bits are elaborate.
That's true.
I pretended to be assaulted by Mickey Mouse.
That is true. That is true. And then he put up a lot of weird and threatening, ominous graphics in your stead.
Yes.
Yep.
Yeah, that was. Yeah, just when I realize I think I've gone unhinged on these podcasts, I just have to remember back that I pretended to be assaulted by Mickey Mouse.
Yeah, that was probably the all-timer, I will say.
Do you really think? What?
I mean, as far as off the rails moments, I mean,
that's true. Yeah,
it's the most memorable and perhaps disturbing.
That's before that we even were like naming it off the rails.
Yeah,
we weren't naming it then.
I think that was still the quarantines days.
It was. That was 2020. That was 2020. Which, by the way, Mickey wasn't social distancing. So how dare you, Mickey Mouse? How dare you? I'm looking straight at the camera at you, Mickey Mouse. How dare you?
You better watch out. He's public domain now. He'll come run you over with the steamboat.
Oh, just the Steamboat Willie version. That one doesn't scare me. That's not like billionaire corporate Mickey Mouse. That's the one that scares me. That's the one that beat me up.
All right. Well, famous last words. Should I give them something for their ears?
You should.
All right. Well, it is a band called Rom-Com, and their song Tom Cruisin' is the song, their first single. And it's just, I mean, look, the roads in Nashville a week after a snowstorm are still covered in ice. And this is a summery bop, as the kids say.
Yeah.
And like, it's just incredible. It's just an incredible, nice little summery slice of indie pop rock. And you should go listen to it. Rom-Com, Tom Cruisin'. And it's going to be on the UMC 20 Best of January 2024 when that comes out on the 30th. So
would you look at that?
Would you look at that?
Here's the thing, too. Like, you don't have to release summer songs in the summer.
Right. Like please release some in the winter to get me past over the hump with this crap outside. Like, I hate it. Nobody likes winter. Nobody likes winter. And if you like winter, you're either lying or a psychopath. Nobody likes
or a child.
No, I hated it. I hated the snow.
Loved winter when I was a child.
Oh, I hated the snow.
I loved it. I mean, granted, now I hate it. No, like, so here's the thing in Atlanta. Let me tell you this. They closed down schools on forecasts. Like, it won't have snowed one single snowflake. And they're like, school's closed tomorrow.
Yep.
Or they'll say online only tomorrow. Like, it could just be forecasted. Like, when we were in high school in New Jersey, they had damn like phone chains at like 5 a.m. Like, the principal would actually go outside and be like, oh, look at that. It snowed like 2 feet. There was a blizzard. Okay, I'm going to go call the vice principal. And he called the vice principal and he said, hey, vice principal, how you doing this morning? We got 2 feet of snow. School's closed. And then the vice principal would call, like, I don't know, the head of the PTA. And they'd be like, hello, head of the PTA. It's the vice principal. we just had 2 feet of snow, so we're canceling school today. And then the head of the PTA would then call like her 3 fellow, like, I don't know, the vice president of the PTA, the treasurer, and the secretary, and she'd like get on a 4-way call with them, which actually probably didn't exist in 2006. So I don't know how the hell this happened, but they'd be like, hello, other people of the PTA. We had 2 feet of snow and we're not having school today. And then they'd call like 5 other people. So it spread out. And eventually by like, oh, I don't know, 6 a.m, we all knew that school was canceled because there was actual, there was actual factual snow on the ground and not forecasted.
Right. Yeah.
I feel better now.
Yeah. The moral of the story is the North handles it way better. And now that you feel better, maybe you can help the rest of us feel good.
Oh, look at that segue. That was phenomenal.
Hey now!
We are on fire tonight.
Yeet.
Woo! Anyway, okay. So I'm gonna be honest, full transparency, get a behind the scenes look behind the curtain. It was really hard to find one of these tonight. I
was there for the struggle. We thought
what a good way to get you feeling good by talking about me feeling bad about trying to find something to make you feel good. But I think we got a good one because it involves a dog.
Ooh.
And who loves they're good boys. They're all good boys. Every single dog is a good boy. Have you ever followed We Rate Dogs on Twitter?
No.
Okay, that's a good follow because that Twitter account just like posts pictures of cute dogs and then like talks about how awesome they are and then rates the dog. And every single dog they rate is over 10 out of 10. They'll give them like minimum 12 out of 10.
Don't you mean X? Isn't it on X now?
Yeah, I don't call it that anymore. I don't call that anymore. Oh, I got to sing the song too. And I'm feeling copyright. Anyway, so today's feeling, I am on one today, by the way. I don't know what the hell's wrong with me, but at least I'm not getting beat up by Mickey Mouse. So today's feeling good story is a dog that won't stop digging saves entire neighborhood after they find a dangerous gas leak underground. It would have made front page news around the country. A quiet Philadelphia neighborhood exploding suddenly into flames days before. Wait. Oh, this is hypothetical. I thought of an action. Okay. But I need to just read the damn article. But because of a clever dog with a heck of a nose, it's only making news here on GNN, the Good News Network, because a disastrous gas leak was detected underground by Kobe, a 4-year-old husky owned by Chanel Bell, who trusted her intuition and listened to Kobe's warnings. Having moved into the house rather recently, Bell noticed Kobe was digging in the same spot in the yard hour after hour. She didn't think much of it as he is an avid digger when the need arises, but as it got larger and larger, she took notice. Quote, I trust his judgment because that wasn't his typical behavior, she said. He has great senses and never digs holes unless he is helping me dig. I knew something was up. Chanel had had a gas leak in the house earlier in December, and seeing that the hole went under the sidewalk, she trusted her intuition to take out her gas detection device. Immediately, the reading detected gas, not just gas, but a potentially cataclysmic amount of gas. Chanel alerted authorities who informed her that if Kobe hadn't detected the leak when he did on December 21, the consequences could have been fatal. We were told it could have had serious health effects like respiratory issues, brain damage, and even death. They told me that something as simple as a light switch turning on could have caused an explosion too. The gas foreman and crew immediately turned off our gas and got to work on the aged pipes that were leaking in 3 places, which could have affected other houses in the neighborhood as well. They were so impressed with Kobe and mentioned what a good dog he was, said Chanel, who believes that you should always listen to your animals and their senses.
So we have a hero dog to start off.
Hero dog. Good. Nothing better than a hero dog.
All right. That does get us feeling good here to end the show.
I feel very good now. I think this is going to be the start of something great. And all it took was a hero dog.
And this wonderful episode of the Quinn Spinn, which you can find on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, YouTube, and more. Also on the socials at Quinn Spinn Official on Instagram and Threads, and the Quinn Spinn on Facebook and TikTok. 2 N's and Quinn, 2 N's and Spin. I almost forgot what our handles were. There are so many
You
of
are
them now.
fine.
And there are even more handles. UMC Nashville is our handle across all the things, as well as our domain for our central hub for all things independent music, creativity, community, hero dogs, and more. UMCNashville.com for all the latest. At Nash Live Shows, that page is resurrected. Wonder why. We might have revealed why today as of the release of this episode. So just,
I emoji. I emoji.
keep I emoji. I emoji. So just keep an eye there or two in emoji form. UMC 20 playlist updated every Tuesday. Best of January coming this Tuesday, the 30th of January, if you're listening to this on or near premiere date. And at Gerard Longo 12 on Instagram, if
Who's
you want to
that?
follow me. I don't know. I'm the Quinn, but the guy,
Who's that?
claims to run this show. So go find him. And JD,
And
where can they find
yeah,
you?
if you want to follow me, delete me, block me,
Report you.
report me, please report me. I haven't been reported in a long time. Not that I haven't done anything reportable. But I am on Twitter, not X. If you say X, you're banned. At Dishong Jason. That's DISHONG JASON. And then when you follow me, please quickly unfollow me because I don't want the attention.
And again, if you say X, you are excommunicated.
Hey now! And
Thank you.
I'm not going to give out my other social media.
All right. Well, Rebel 9's all Rebel 9's all I've become going to take us out just like it brought us in. Grab some muffins on the way out.